Today we're going to be talking about upholstery cleaning, namely professional upholstery cleaning. Yes, customers and clients many times take the time to vacuum their upholstery, but they don't realize how important it is to have it professionally cleaned. That's where you as a professional comes in to educate them and let them know how important it is. I like to mention to clients, imagine taking a shirt or blouse and wearing it for 6 months or a year or longer and only vacuuming it and not washing it through the washing machine. What would happen? The amount of body oils, dead skin, fungus, people like to eat on their upholstery. Imagine the amount of food particles and spots and stains. They're just not educated, so that's your job to do it. Then you as a professional can go ahead and clean it and make a nice little profit, and both you and the client benefit from this professional cleaning. Alright, first off we want to talk about is that I offer a 10-step cleaning and I like to have 10 tools on hand. I'm going to go ahead and get into that, but first, before we do that, most upholstery comes with a cleaning code. And generally when you lift up the center cushion, you'll find a code. And it'll say S, W, X, or SW. So what I'd like to do right now is go ahead and get into those codes, show you closely what they are and what they do for the professional. Okay, here's a picture of all 4 cleaning codes together. W, S, WS, and X. Now generally, if you lift up a center cushion on a piece of upholstery, you're going to find the cleaning code. You're going to find the cleaning instructions, and then right below that, all by itself, you're going to find the little letter. That letter is going to be the W, the S, the WS, or the X like pictured here. Now generally this is just for the consumer because the professional, for the most part, really realizes what they need to use. And for professional reference, the only reference you need to know is its clean fastness. That's our most important factor when we're considering the cleaning codes. Alright, W generally is for God-made products such as cotton, wool, or silk. The manufacturer's basically saying water's okay. They prefer distilled water because it could leave rings if you use tap water. Of course, if you do an overall even cleaning, you don't have to worry about that. Then you come to the S code, which is basically man-made. There's polyesters, nylons, or olefin. The manufacturer prefers solvent-based cleaning. And basically the products that we use, like I mentioned, are solvent-based. Even with tap water mixed in, it's no problem as long as you do a nice overall cleaning. Okay, then of course they have WS. Generally this is for a blended fibers. You can have a God-made and a man-made put together. And if that's the case, the manufacturer is basically saying you can use water or solvents. That's fine. Then last but not least, you have the X code. Now you very rarely come across this code. I've only come across it one time in 30 years. Now you're going to find it on drapes, or curtains, or fabric blinds. So in conclusion, remember when the preference is, and you really want to clean for the homeowner, just do a good even cleaning with a neutral based cleaner and you're not going to have any problem 99.9% of the time. Okay, now that you understand cleaning codes and what they can do for you and the client, let's go ahead and move on now to the 10-step cleaning and the 10 tools that we use. We keep a little sheet of paper on the trucks for the technicians to refer to. I'll go ahead and let you take a look at that and we'll explain it first. Now here's the basic copy that we keep in the truck of our 10-step upholstery cleaning and the cleaning tools that are necessary to be on the truck. Starting with the 10-step cleaning, you're going to notice, and we're going to go through later on, inspect, identify, test, pre-qualify, dust, pre-vac, pre-spray, agitate, clean, and groom. And remember, always pre-test. That's the most important factor right there. Alright, the cleaning tools you need on hand is basically a jet or a jetless tool. You need a vacuum, a horsehair brush, a 2-quart sprayer, a neutral and citrus spotters, solvent bar, neutral cleaner, drop cloth, terry cloth towel, and a foldable table. Okay, let's go ahead and review those cleaning steps. Number 1, you want to inspect the material. Make sure it has no burns, no rips or tears. If it does, make a note on your work order and definitely show the client. Number 2, you want to identify the material. Is it God-made or is it man-made? Is it a polyester, a rayon? Could be a blend with cotton or wool, which are God-made. You want to make sure that you know these things to make sure you use the proper chemistry. However, the chemistry that we use covers 99% of all material out there. Okay, number 3, you want to test it. Take your cleaning solution, go ahead and use it at full concentrate, just like I mentioned in my rug video earlier. If you look on your YouTube channel, you take it at full concentration, and you take and you test the spot, generally on the back of the sofa, or on the sides in the inconspicuous area. That's important. After that, you want to pre-qualify the client. Let her know what her expectations will be and can they be matched. That's important. Alright, then I take the time, I take my brush and I dust it real well. Okay? After that, I'll pre-vacuum. Take the vacuum cleaner and pre-vacuum the material real well. After that, I'll take my 2-quart sprayer and I'll go ahead and mist it down. Mostly, I like to mist it very evenly all over to keep rings and things of that from happening. Make sure I do a nice even cleaning throughout the whole piece of upholstery. And then I want to take and agitate my pre-spray in real well with my horsehair brush. And then I'm going to take the time and clean it either with a jet tool or a jetless tool. Lastly, I'll take my horsehair brush again, I'll rinse it off, and I'll go ahead and groom the material real nice when I'm done. This leads to a very thorough cleaning. Alright, now what 10 products do I keep on the truck? I like to keep a drop cloth. I like to keep a terry cloth towel, a vacuum, a good heavy-duty neutral citrus solvent-based upholstery cleaner, but just about any good upholstery cleaner with ammonia or something like that works fine too. A 2-quart sprayer, a neutral spotter, a citrus gel spotter, my horsehair brush, and a solvent bar. And lastly, I like to keep a foldable table so I can set something on top of it, like a cushion, something of that nature. That way I don't have to bend over the whole time while I'm cleaning. Okay, well now you've got a basic overview of everything I do. Let's go ahead and get to cleaning. I'm going to go out and fire up the truck. Demonstrate cleaning 2 cushions. Now, I'm going to go ahead and clean the whole overall piece, but just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to go ahead and show you 2 pieces. Alright, and the first piece I'm going to demonstrate with a jet tool, and the second one with a jetless tool. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look. First of all, I'll take the cushion, I'll set it on this little table right here to clean. That kind of takes the pressure off my back. I've already mixed up my neutral pre-spray, my 2-quart sprayer, pump it up a little bit. Now, just as a little tip and trick, if you really want to make something pop, especially light colors, you can add a little bit of sodium carbonate. Watch for a future video I'm going to be having coming out on chemistry tips and tricks. Alright, so remember what I said, you want to make sure you spray it nice and evenly. I've already laid down my drop cloth on the floor. It's really important to have that down there, especially when you're dealing with hardwood floors. The last thing you want to do is damage somebody's laminate or their hardwoods or have any chemical on top of it, or water for that matter. Alright, so I like to spray the piece real evenly, first of all. Now remember, I've already vacuumed it, I've already dusted it. You basically know how to do that. For pre-spraying, I want to take the time, spray it nice and evenly. And then I'll take and I'll agitate my pre-spray in. Now the advantage to dusting, and if you want a more comprehensive look at upholstery cleaning, feel free to pick up my DVD at ridealongseries.com. Alright, now, I'll take my horsehair brush and I'll go ahead and agitate the pre-spray in real well. Alright, I like to move it nice and evenly all over. This distributes the surfactant. What does the surfactant do? It basically, in layman's terms, it just takes and separates the soil from the material. That's what a surfactant basically does. Alright. So now I've got it nice and evenly pre-sprayed. Now let's suppose I've got a spot. Okay, now I like to stick to neutral spotters. I might start off basically with a liquid one, depending on what type of material it is. Or if it's got some gummy material, something like that, I like to use a citrus gel. But most of the time, I'll just use my little solvent bar and go right in town on something. Just make sure you rinse it really well. You don't have to overly rub. Whenever you're using a terry cloth towel, you might want to blot it instead of rubbing it, because you can do damage to the fibers and material, depending on how delicate it is, especially with something real thick like Haitian cotton. Alright, now if you have a jet tool, you can actually take the time and mist it. And remember, it's adjustable. So if you're getting some overflow, just adjust it back some. That might look like I'm adding a little more moisture than normal, but remember, as long as you vacuum it real well, you're not going to have a problem. Okay. And notice as I'm cleaning, I've got it kind of dialed in pretty well. I'm not getting much overflow. The problem with a tool like this is you can get the downing and the backing a little wet. That's why my preference is, most of the time, you see the overflow that likes to pop off? If you don't have a drop cloth, you're going to have a problem there. Okay? Now, remember, to every cleaning stroke, do at least 1 or 2 dry strokes. Sometimes I'll take and cross clean it, like this. Now notice I'm holding the material in my left hand, depending if you're right handed or left handed or not, because it wants to tug. And that's another disadvantage with this type of tool on very flexible material. If it was a more durable, hard fabric, I really like this tool. That's why I like to carry both tools on the truck, not just one. And I also like to cross clean. I'll cross clean one side, and then I'll turn it over and clean the other direction. Same thing with the dry stroke. Also clean it and dry it really well. And I'm holding them in my left hand. Keep it. Now, that's one side with that tool. And generally on most material, you can see where you've been and where you haven't been. Alright, now let's go ahead and let's switch tools. And I'm going to clean the other side of it. I'm going to show you the advantage to the other tool on material like this. Okay, now I've got my tool of preference, which is a jetless cleaning tool, where the water actually sheets or circulates right over the bottom. When you go to turn it on, you notice you don't have any overspray. You only have to adjust it like the other one. You have to worry about any overwetting. I really like that. Also, it does not allow anything to go down into the backing or the downing of the material. This leads to quicker dry times and then less chance of it ever wicking or spots coming back. Alright, now this tool right here, it's really nice because you can clean in both directions. You might only have to clean half of it at a time because the material is so flexible. But see how it's the tool of choice? It also swivels. I like that, and I can see what's coming through it also. I like the sight glass. Also, when I go along the edges, I can kind of hang off the edge a little bit and it still cleans well. It still dries well. Now some people, and it's your preference, if you want to take the time. Of course, I'm going to cross clean it, just like I did with the other tool. But notice there's no overspray, no drippage, but I still recommend having a drop cloth if you're working around hard surfaces, such as laminates especially. Okay. Then I'll take the time, after I clean both sides of it, and go along the outer edges. I really like how this tool cleans. So on top of it, it keeps the heat there all the time because it's a constant flow. So with the other one, you're constantly triggering on and off, and the heat exchanger, or whatever type of heater that you have, generally can't keep up with the heat properly. I like having some nice heat. Allows it to dry a little quicker, and to me it does a little better efficient cleaning. And not to mention, the laundry companies have the patents to the chemistry for low temperature cleaning. So what are we stuck with? The high temperature cleaning component. Alright, there's nothing wrong with that, but it really helps to have a little bit of heat when you do it. Alright, now you notice there's no overspray. It really looks nice. It's coming along real well. Got it sitting up on this table here, takes all the pressure off my back, and I just cut the water off. You don't have to worry about it. If I want to, I can take the time and do an extra dry stroke. I don't know if it really makes a big difference or not, because it really doesn't overwet the material in the first place. But if you've got some extra time, or you want to take the extra time, feel free to do it. Just remember, quality is what brings clients back. Word of mouth creates a lifetime customer, and that's more important than anything else. Okay, well, hope you enjoyed this demonstration. I'm going to go ahead and finish cleaning this unit, and then I'll conclude. Alright, that concludes how I clean upholstery. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Remember, we have hundreds of similar videos on our YouTube channel. Please take the time and subscribe. Also, if you're not a member of Truck Mount Forums, where there's over 50,000 carpet cleaners that come there each month and share different ideas, please take the time and sign up. Also, pay attention to our new magazine, the TMF Clean Informer. It's really unique because of the fact that we don't sanitize the issue. We take the time and bring the real dirt and the real information to cleaners from cleaners like ourselves. Well, I'm Rob Allen with Truck Mount Forums. Have yourself a great day.